itself to put the coal in. That one there used to use about 125 tons a week to make steam for it. And it had an impeller, was 12-foot impeller on it with 4 blades. And it used to turn about the same thing, about 105 turns a minute. That was a pretty big boat. And the anchor, we could see in front, there's an anchor. And we have a little engine over here that used to be in the front of it. When they throw the anchor down, to pull up the anchor to make the winch run on it. This one here, they call it the Beaver. That one had no basket on it, and it going about 4 foot thick of wood that used to make booms up north to Miskamang. He used to bring the booms, and the Wabbits used to bring it to the island. Then the Lady Mentor, the PG Muir, or them, they used to take it down to Miskamang here, because they never had enough water for the big boats to go in past Chief's Island. That's why we had to bring them out to Chief's Island. And this here, you might see this one here, they call it the Wilda. That one here, I used to be down below here for the mill to Miskamang. They'd bring the wood from opemican depot or all along the shore here, and it would bring them down for the mill at South to Miskamang, for the CIP mill. That they used to call it the Wilda. This is the PG Muir. This is here in 1948 when they put it in the water behind the white oaks. As you see it went sideways. They put it in sideways, and you see it camped there. That was in they made the piers in 47, and they put it in 48. And then this here, you can see it's on the towing over here. And there's quite a few. First one was on there was Jack Cobb for captain. And there was a guy someplace there for engineer. When this guy left, Fern Gravel took it over. And he was the engineer on there for quite a few years. And there was Nelson Gravel was second. And then there was Trepagny, it was second too. Fern Gravel was quite a few years. He was on there all the time, the PG Muir, the run. And he even was on there when he moved it to Onsound. So they will see it here. It's near the White Oaks. You can see the crane, the mass of the crane that's going down there, the pulleys. They're going to raise it up and put it on the float. And the float that was, you'll see it way up here. It's 90 some wheels underneath it. And they put it on, they took the top off of it and they put it on. And farther down you'll see where it's on the road going to North Bay. And as you could see a half a house alongside of it, you could see the half a house the way it's small. So, and then Fern, he took it from, and he brought it to Kingston. They went all around by Toronto. They dumped it at Georgian Bay, and they went all around. It was Fern Gravel and Regis Larvier was the engineer on there when they took it around. Yeah, we'll see the PG Muir here when it got to Onsound. You could see the top is off and everything, and it was just coming into Onsound. You could see they're lifting on each side. They're lifting up the wires for it to pass. And after you can see it here. After that, you'll see it here. It's they put the top back on. They have the bulldozer and they're pushing it in there. And that's when it left. The boat that they paid for that boat, I heard that was $48,000, and it cost $100,000 to move it to Onsound. Because this fella, the guy who bought this boat, he got it to break ice. He wanted to break ice. God brought it to Kingston, and on the American side, there's a bay there for cement, and they had to break ice for the big boats to go in to get the cement. But there was not correctly a boat to break ice, because when it broke the ice, there was a crack made in the ice, and it had to follow the crack. But the year after, they put a big pipe underneath the water with pipes up, they had a big compressor, and that's the way they kept the ice uh, away from the bay. And so that boat, the fella, he changed it for a scow, a big scow, and the scow, the boat now it's at Port Dover. It's gone to Port Dover. It's below Toronto, and they're using it for bringing the big barrels of big scows of fuel for the big boats to put oil on the big boats. That's the last time I've heard of the PG Muir. We have a sawmill just on the end of our property here. We used to saw wood there, lumber and everything, and we used to make pieces for building piers that were 9 inches high, and well, it depends on what the size of your pier. And it's a sawmill, and it was an engine, a steam engine was running it. And the boiler and the engine is there, and the engine is about, we'll say, maybe 16 to 20 horsepower or something. And the boiler is there yet, and the engine on it. But we used to cut all of the wood. We used to bring it by water, and bring it up with a chain and cut it. Every fall we used to do stuff like that. And all the timbers here we repaired, all the pieces off of it. We used to bring it to the mill. The broken pieces was all BC fir. We used to cut it in 2 planks to fix up the wharfs here. And then a little farther on, we have a winch. It's an old winch. It runs with air or steam. And it used to be in the pond. We had a pond below the Narrows. It was made like a horseshoe. And we'd bring the wood in there. And we had a ramp. And we'd bring up the timber to repair timber and build timbers in there. And quite a few. I just remember in a few years after they took that apart, and the old winch is still there, and they moved that down here to opemican depot, and now after that they repaired wood down below here. The head boss here always had a cottage. Before Elmer Cody it was Brophy, and before him it was Woolley, just forget his other name. And anyway, the last one was in there was Elmer Cody from North Bay. And it was a part of the cottage, but Elmer Cody, he made it a little bigger. You'll see it with round timber. They built that in 52. In 1952, they peeled the stuff and they rebuilt it. So they made the cottage a little longer, but that was for the superintendent. Yeah, we have a lifeboat. I have 2 lifeboats. Left here, it belonged to the Alec or the Lady Minto, and it used to be on there for safety on the boat. They're pointed on both ends, and they have tanks, air tanks in there. And I know the wood it won't sink, but still for safety, they had the law. It was you put all tanks all around it. And inside there was oars, there was everything in there ready. If the boat caught on fire or anything, they had enough boats on the boat to put in the water for the people to be to go to shore to be safe. Every boat had to have a lifeboat.